Welcome back to YamamotoNutrition.com. I'm here with one of my fellow Yamamoto team athletes, Roberto, professional open class bodybuilder, obviously representing Italy. So we're in the Dragon's Lair again here, home to the 7x212 Mr. Olympia Flex Lewis. We appreciate you guys and girls jumping on to the social outlets and obviously the platforms that Yamamoto Nutrition are putting this content on for you guys and girls at home. Today we're going to be smashing a high rep Sarcoplasmic Hypertrophy week 3 Y3T workout. We're going to be doing arms today. So it's going to be a massive amount of volume, okay? Now, we've obviously already spoken about our pre-workout supplements. Myself and Roberto have had 2 servings of Amino Elite. Number of different reasons, but the main reason is because of the 4 grams of L-citrulline. So we've actually got 8 grams of L-citrulline in us now from that pre-workout supplement. Obviously, I spoke about that raw supplement in itself and obviously the Hydro Elite before we started training. Obviously, we're also primed as well with fast digesting carbohydrates from the glycocharge, highly branched-sided dextrin. So when it comes to warm-up sets, it's really important you take the time to warm up properly because the rep range is very high. Indirectly, you're going to be using the first number of repetitions as your final priming stages of your warm-ups. But we're going to be doing 4 warm-up sets. We're going to be starting for, first of all, low pulley curl. This is a great exercise, especially when you open up. So when you open up right out and you're not rotating, obviously when you're rotating like a hammer curl, you're going to bring brachialis in a certain sense. To get more muscle fiber activation, okay, a wider spectrum of bicep activation, then you really want to be open as much as you can. Now, I'm going to get Roberto to put his hand. I've never showed this before to Roberto. If you put your hand like this to me, okay? Hand like this. Okay? Yes? No squeeze there. Does the bicep feel bigger there or bigger there? Here or here?
Here.
Yes, exactly. And that's my point. In this position, in this open position or slightly camber position, you're going to bring more both heads of your bicep into play, which means you're going to get more bicep activation. I'm not saying that I'm not against rotating through the wrist, which is also going to bring forearm in. And also, if you're going really heavy, you run the risk of irritating wrist strength, okay? You don't need to work on mobility or activation in that area because that's going to come into play on certain exercises that you perform on other exercises anyway. But we want to bring as much bicep activation as possible. So we're going to stay very open. The great thing about cables, you have total load throughout the whole movement, okay? So you can load that bicep up or other muscle groups depending what exercise it is with the cable machine. This is a great way of getting a huge amount of muscle fiber activation. So much sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, you're going to get that 3D, 4D look in your muscle. One, because of the movement and the rep range, but also because of that rich blood, which is coming from those 8 grams of L-citrulline. Now, when I did that movement, I don't have my elbows right back. I do agree that when your elbows are really far back and your movement is very restricted, yes, it's 100% bicep. When you've got slight flexion or slight movement in that area throughout your shoulder indirectly, or should I say your elbow is coming forward. But remember, it's not so much your elbow is coming forward, your shoulder movement is changing, okay? I don't have an issue as long as that movement is controlled. But there's a difference between doing a curl like this and a curl like this, okay? So we're going to stay tight. There's very little movement within that elbow. The last couple of repetitions when you're really busting your ass, yes, you're probably going to find that that movement's going to move to about 3 inches, but you're still activating bicep, okay? Anyway, Roberto's going to do his first warm-up set. Remember, with warm-ups, do not pre-fatigue yourself. They're there to mentally and physically prime you, get some synovial fluid, blood through the joint, blood flow, activation, get brain trained to the movement, load your central nervous system by increasing the weight slightly with your warm-ups, decrease the repetitions on your warm-up so you don't pre-fatigue. We're going to get on to this movement. This is going to be a high blood flow exercise. crazy 3D muscle pump going on with your arms, a lot of muscle growth and development. I'm not suggesting that you train like this every single week, but I'm a massive advocate of my Y3T training principle. Huge data support, significant changes in positive body composition, muscle growth, reduction in injuries. It's a great way for you to find out a rep range which really works for you, because our bodies are made up of different muscle fiber actors. Some people are going to work really well and be hyper responsive on the week 3, somebody week 2s, some week 1s. But if you implement the Y3 technique, you are definitely going to get some great gains and some new muscle mass and development. Perfect, Roberto. Good. As you notice, as Roberto doing this exercise, there's very little movement within his elbow, okay? So his shoulder is staying stagnant, his elbow is moving very slightly as far as moving forward. That movement that is taking place is not significant enough to deload or deactivate the bicep whatsoever. I personally feel that when you restrict your movement, yes, you are potentially making an exercise more isolated, but there's also a point where I feel that if you over-isolate a muscle group, you run the risk of potentially deloading that area or that muscle group origin that you're training, okay? Okay, so that was my third, 3, and final warm-up. Normally, I'll do anywhere between 3 and 4 warm-ups. With a week 3, because the rep range is high, you can sometimes bring that warm-up number of sets down. So I've just done my third warm-up. We're going to be going in with our next working set, okay? That'll be our first working set. As long as you're mentally and physically primed with your warm-ups correctly, I always suggest you go in with your heaviest weight. I'm not going to say that there aren't times where I, in my mindset, think, right, this is going to be my first set, this is my heaviest weight, and the weight is slightly too light for me, because maybe I'm actually mentally and physically stronger than I thought I was before I picked up that weight, okay? Super important that you switch on your central nervous system as quick as possible. However, with a week 3 Y3T sarcoplasmic hypertrophy working set, then it's going to be difficult to switch on your central nervous system from the very beginning, because the load is not heavy enough. And of course, if the load is heavy to the point at the very beginning, you're not going to be able to do the rep range. Our rep range is going to be anywhere between 15 and 20 repetitions. Yes, you can push that rep range up to 18 to 25, but remember, it's a drop set, okay? So you're going to be doing anywhere between 15 to 20, 18 to 25 repetitions per drop. So in one working set, if you're doing a drop set, you're going to be doing anywhere between 30 and 40 repetitions, or it could be as high as 36 to 50 repetitions, all right? So we're going to do our first working set. I'm going to use this drop stick. You can see how I work this now. So I'm going to use this drop stick now. I'm going to show you how to use this piece of equipment. It's great because you don't have to spend any seconds at all assing around, dropping a weight or a training partner. So I pull this out. Now, pay quick attention, okay? I'm always going to bust my ass now when I'm doing this working set. I want that camera to go close. So Robbie, when I say hit the stack, Robbie, I want you to go pan in straight into the stack so they'll see what happens when I do this drop set, okay? If you need to rest pause, you rest pause, right? Let's go, strong set, let's go, come on. Good, perfect, stay there. Good, come on. Keep working, come on. Strong set, come on. Come on, push. Good reps, come on. Let's go. Good, let's go. 5, no. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Good. In. Good. Push. Come on. 3, 4, 5. Rest, pause. Rest, pause. 5 reps. Let's go. Come on. Be a machine. Strong set. Come on. 1. Up. 2. Push. 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest, pause. Last phase. 5 reps. Let's go. 5. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Strong. 1, 2. Push. 3, 4. Good set. Good set. Good set. So that's our first working set, okay? So we're going to be doing anywhere between 3 and 4 working sets. Remember, indirectly, you're going to failure on every set. So what does that mean? You're pushing your repetitions to a point in the first phase that you can't do any more reps without a spotter. I'm not into assistant reps ever, okay? Then you're going to drop the weight and you're going to go obviously into your next phase. So there's 2 phases in one set. Now, of course, you could do a triple drop set. We don't need to do a triple drop set here today. This is the first time myself and Roberto have trained together, so the intensity is going to be crazy fucking high, all right? Very high volume, very high load. The rep range is, as I said, 15 to 20 reps in every phase. I'm looking forward to getting this next set. Now, you're going to be mentally and physically more tired and fatigued in your second set than your first. So you have to ask yourself, did I hit the target rep range in my first phase? Yes or no? If it was no, and you did not hit the rep range, it was slightly less, then you need to lighten the weight. I'm going to attempt to do this working set the same as my first one, but I'm going to drop the lightest weight by 1 plate because I only managed about 14 repetitions in my last phase. I did about 18 reps in my first phase, about 14. I want to try and hit that sort of 15 to 20 rep range, okay? So I'm going to drop the weight from 100 down to 90 on my second phase, but I'll keep the load at 140 for my first phase. Okay, obviously in my Amino Elite, I've broken down this before. We've got Rhodiola Rosa, a very powerful and formidable adaptogenic, which is going to help clear your mind, keep your clarity, keep your focus in play as you're physically going through your rep ranges. You're going to mentally and physically fatigue. Rhodiola Rosa is going to help buffer that and keep you a little bit more stable. Crazy blood flow from obviously the L-citrulline. Got a huge induction going on as well from obviously those nutrient-rich fermented branched chain amino acids. Within 2 servings, there's 12 grams of fermented branched chains. Leucine, leucine and valine. Obviously, leucine is going to be the dominator when it comes to triggering on mTOR and keeping protein synthesis in a positive place. There's obviously muscle breakdown taking place or potential muscle breakdown. Those branched chain amino acids are going to help stabilize that a little bit. Yes, as you're going through the rep ranges and the working sets, then of course you're going to create, to a certain extent, a catabolic environment. A positive controlled catabolic environment is positive for muscle growth and development. But remember, it has to be controlled and it has to be reversed as soon as possible when you finish your workout. And that's why when we finish our workout, we'll talk about our post-training supplementation. Oh, come on, come on. Rest, pause, rest, pause, rest, pause. Okay. Okay, that was a really, really high demanding working set. I really bust my ass there. What I'm really happy about is you'll notice how I rest pause. I wouldn't normally try to deload. What do I mean by deloading? Deloading my central nervous system. In a perfect world, I would try to keep my central nervous system loaded, but take the stress and load away from the muscle group that I'm training. Within this exercise, it's obviously bicep, but if I keep load on my bicep, I'm not able to replenish ATP efficiently and refuel quick enough to get those last repetitions. So what I did is I used a positive deload. Remember, don't mix up that phrase in a different type of deloading. A lot of people will talk about deload training where the rep range and the weight might be lighter. They're not going to full extension or failure. In this way, I'm talking about deloading the bicep for a few seconds so I can get that muscle back into a state of recovery to get those last repetitions. So I know that Roberto's gonna struggle his ass on this set. We're using the same weight. This guy's a fucking monster next to me. I know he's gonna struggle because I struggle, but I also saw how hard he pushed on his first phase. So this is gonna hit him really hard. Mindset, right, Roberto? Everything is mindset. Clear your fucking mind, right? Be a machine. You program your mind, you program your movement pattern. Stay strong, all right? Physically explosive. Let's go. Control. Good. Perfect. Keep it there. Come on. Push. Good. Come on. Good. Come on. Keep working. And again. Rest pause. 3 reps. Let's go. Come on. 3 reps. Let's go. Come on. 1, 2. Good. Rappels. You're in. Let's go. Break them down. 5 or 6 reps. Rest pause. Let's go. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 5 reps. 5 reps. Come on. 1, 2. Push. 3, 4, 1. Up. Okay. Deload. Stay there. Stay there. Let's go. Last phase. Come on. Stay fucking strong. Come on. No fucking around. Let's go. Come on. 2. Let's go. Come on. 2 reps. Come on. 1, 2. Good. Deload. Stay there. Right. Last phase. Let's go, Roberto. Push. Let's go. In. 2. Good. 2. 1. Good set. Good set, man. Good. Okay. Good. So, this is the first time Roberto and myself have done arms together. Now, obviously, I don't speak Italian, unfortunately. How's the workout going? You speak in Italy, it's no Italian, no problem.
Questa è la seconda volta che mi alleno col Mill. Stiamo facendo braccia per la prima volta. Questa è la settimana 3 del suo workout. Devo dire che normalmente quando vedo le sue programmazioni il fatto di dover lavorare ad alte reps mi porterebbe a tenere un carico quantomeno moderato. Il fatto invece di ricercare comunque un carico abbastanza importante e di andare a riposare per poterci consentire di concludere comunque il set con alte reps porta veramente un pump estremo al muscolo target, quindi veramente tosto.
So I'm going to go into my third and possibly final working set. The only reason I say possible, I'm going to see how I feel on this next working set. I don't necessarily have to do another set, but sometimes what I do encourage people to do is that I think that having a logbook and tracking your progress to reps, exercise selection, weight is very, very important. It creates a sense of accountability, purpose, right? And when you have accountability and purpose and direction, you're more likely to further extend yourself because you can look at your last like-for-like workout and look to see if you can increase your performances. Now, increase your performances means that it doesn't necessarily have to be you increase the weight. You could actually use the same weight but increase the repetitions. You could potentially keep the repetitions the same but increase the weight. Or you could reduce your resting period, because obviously if you reduce your resting period, indirectly your load goes up because you have less time to recover. So there's multiple ways for you to manipulate your workouts or your working sets. I'm going to go into the set now. I'm going to go in with the same weight again. Again, this is really pushing myself. You'll notice I was so close to not hitting my numbers. I hit my numbers, but I had to rest pause in a deload fashion on my last phase. Worked really well for me, because I said the trouble is when you are rest pausing and you still have total load on that muscle group, you're not able to replenish and get some form of positive balance back within the muscle group you're working, and obviously ATP recirculating itself. You'll notice the drop stick is an incredible piece of kit. What's really important is you obviously got to keep your form in line, but you've really got to try and chase those numbers in a positive way. What I mean by that is the sooner you rest pause on this heavy load, the harder it's going to be for you. So just try to get to that point as many reps as you can, okay? But don't put so much pressure on yourself that you start to fall short because of the pressure, right? Oh fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. What I did is when I went to rest pause, I let the stack jump and obviously pulled the pin out. I wanted to get another 5 repetitions. But what I did do is I used my own initiative then. So what I did is when I went into that next phase, you'll notice I never deloaded the weight. So what I did is I kept the rep range or the form more in line, which I advise you anyway. And I kept under load all the time. So there was never a time that I deloaded and let the weight stack bottom out. I kept activation all the time. Now you might ask me, why did I do that in that set and not the sets before? Because I'd gone to such a failure point on my last exercise, I had to deload. You obviously physically and mentally can feel and sense where you are. Your central nervous system is giving you that data instantly. Everything's firing. So you need to extract that information and think in a logical and rational sense when you're performing those repetitions, okay? Roberto, on this, don't drop, okay?
Okay.
Only when I say.
Okay.
Strong, okay? Let's go, come on, be a machine. Program your mind, stay fucking strong, okay? Be a machine. A machine gets programmed and it does the same thing. It doesn't waver, it doesn't move. Good, good. Good, Rob. Good, Roberto. Come on, strong set. Strong set. Be a machine. Come on. And again. Good. And again. Come on. And again. Good. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. 5 reps. Come on. I don't care if you're fucking tired. Let's go. Strong. 1, 2. Come on. 3. 2 reps. Good reps. Come on. 1. Good. Drop. Okay, you're in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good. Keeping reps are good. Good. Come on. Good. Excellent. 7. Good. 3. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Deload. 5 reps, let's go. Come on, come on. 1, good. 2, 3, 4. Rest, pause. Last phase, good reps now, come on. Let's go, Roberto, come on. 1, good, up. 2, good reps, 3, 1. Good set. Good set, mate. Good set. Good set. Okay, so we're going to go on to our second exercise, okay? Now, because of a shoulder issue I have, and because I haven't trained arms for such a long time, we did a bit of an arm workout the other day with Yamamoto Nutrition. It's the first time I trained arms for months and months and months. Because I have a shoulder issue, I was told I had a shoulder replacement about 6 or 7 years ago. Conventional bicep curls can sometimes irritate me, so I tend to do alternative. It's not something I would recommend, okay? So if we as individuals have injuries and we're having to work around injuries, then it's really important that you choose exercises which are going to create less disturbance, inflammation, and irritate that origin area, right? For me, it's my right shoulder. And when I do alternative curls, I find that it irritates me. My favorite way of curling will be curling together. Okay, so my favorite curls, you curl together. Most people are always going to be slightly stronger on one arm than the other. So what would I do? I would get to a point where maybe I'm struggling and I'm like this, okay? And then I will go into alternative curls, all right? Then I go into alternative. So what I do is I bring my bicep activation and movement to failure, but then I go into singles for those last repetitions. On this occasion, we're gonna work one bicep at a time. It's not because it's cool and trendy, because I see a lot of people doing this at the moment because it appears to be cool and trendy. I'm simply doing it because this movement creates less disturbance and less irritation on my shoulder. When I work with just one side at a time, I find my shoulder holds up better, okay? So that's the only reason I'm doing it. We're not gonna rotate. Remember, stay open. The longer you can stay in that open position, the more bicep activation. Yes, brachialis, forearm, brachialis, forearm. We don't need to work those areas. You don't need to concentrate just on the brachialis because conventional open palm position is gonna hit all origins of your bicep. And certain exercises are gonna also bring in an array of different areas of a muscle group, all right? So we're going to do open one-arm dumbbell curl. Selfishly, for me, I might get Roberto to do something different because I want to show you what I'm doing, and then I'm going to get him to do something what I ideally want him to do, all right? Right, I want to talk about supporting your exercises and getting the most out of your performances. You'll notice my Y3T wrist wraps, lifting straps. Highly recommend that you use lifting straps on certain exercises. I highly recommend you use wrist wraps on certain exercises. And I also highly recommend you use a training belt on certain exercises and potentially knee wraps or knee sleeves or even elbow sleeves at times. You are not going to disconnect the muscle from working because you're using that assistance. If anything, you're potentially going to get more muscle stimulus because when we fatigue or tire or start to lose our focus on the exercise because an origin area is becoming the weakest point. So let's just say I was doing squats. The weakness is probably going to be my back. I don't want to be going through my exercise and through my repetitions and start to find mentally I'm disconnecting because my lower back is becoming vulnerable. I want that area to be tight. I want my core to be engaged. And I want to make sure I'm protected. My focus has to be on the movement, not my back. So what am I going to do? I'm going to support that movement with my belt. When I do biceps, I want to protect and aid my working sets so I don't get disconnected from my grip or my forearm. I want to keep my bicep into play. I use lifting straps, okay? You're not going to get less bicep activation. If anything, you're going to get more bicep activation because you're able to go further throughout the working set, okay? Don't fail because of a weaker origin area. Okay, I don't need to warm up on this exercise because my movement is very similar. I'm already primed, okay? I'm gonna stay open with my bicep. You'll notice my form. You'll notice my bicep, or should I say my wrist, is fully rotated. Okay. So that's a working set. The only disadvantage of doing unilateral movements is you're physically and mentally tiring when you're bringing that one side of my right bicep into play. So when I go into my left side, I'm getting mentally and physically tired anyway, all right? I don't have those 30 seconds or that 90 seconds or those 60 seconds to rest. However, what I do is I know I'm slightly stronger on my left side, so I lead with my right, so that by the time I finish my right side, I'm a little bit fatigued mentally and physically, which means that I'm going to be slightly weaker on my left side. I'm still performing the same repetitions, my form is exactly the same. Right, Roberto, you're going in. We're going to do bilateral together.
Okay, okay.
And as you start to fail, you might end up being like this, yes?
Okay.
Alternative.
Okay, okay.
Okay? Now, I've obviously just said I want him to go into alternative. I don't know how strong he is. I'm going to check what his movement patterns are. I might get him to do, instead of going into one-sided, I might get him to do 3 to 5 reps, 3 to 5 reps, 3 to 5 reps, 3 to 5 reps. I'll see how strong he is. I want you to go up to probably 35. Stay open for me all the time. Good, stay there for me, come on. Good, perfect. Good, you'll see huge engagement here in bicep. Good, Roberto, stay open, okay? Perfect, come on. Come on, work hard. Work hard. Come on, let's go. Work. And again, good form, let's go. Okay, rest forward, stay there. Single arm. Straight into the other side. Straight into the other side. Other side, come on. Up. Good. Come on, Roberto. Get him up. Rest forward. And again, let's go. Good. Last phase. Okay, rack them back.
Oh.
Right. That's a good productive set. Slightly fewer repetitions than I ideally want. I'm going to drop the weight slightly on this next set. Of course, I don't know how strong he is. First time we train together. And just because somebody is physically strong, if the application changes, so the application may be that I am bringing Roberto further to failure on his working set. So if I'm pushing him and challenging him more and bringing him to that further failure point, then obviously he's going to lose a certain amount of strength. He is not going to lose the ability to activate muscle. He's going to potentially increase that, okay? Okay, so this is going to be my third and final working set. I'm going to incorporate a drop set so I can get those extra repetitions. Yes, I could reduce the weight, but I think this weight, if I really I'm able to mentally and physically extend myself, I'll probably be able to stay within the rep range, but I want to also further extend that rep range just to increase sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. So I'm going to do a slight drop. The weight, however, is only going to be 5 pounds. So 5 pounds, when you have this type of volume and load and blood flow, it's going to be very little as far as change in the weight bearing load. So the extra repetitions I'm going to get might be only 5 or 6 reps. If I can get more, great, but we'll see how I get on with the movement. Okay, what I was struggling with there, my right shoulder wasn't causing any discomfort or pain, but I was finding I was losing strength because there's obviously disconnection of neurological connection. So I was losing strength because of my shoulder. No pain, no discomfort. I was going to go into hammer curl because if I changed my movement pattern, went into hammer and not be so open, I felt that I could have probably got some extra repetitions, but I didn't want to just randomly go into that without explaining. Okay, so that was my third and final working set of standing. I would have liked to have got more repetitions. But remember, you write this information down in your logbook, the reps, the weight, the rest period, those 3 variables are critical, the same as your eccentric. You can't change your eccentric all the time. Obviously, you're potentially going to get more repetitions if your eccentric is 1 second as opposed to 3 or 4 seconds. That's obvious, right? So make sure that all those variables are in line. That data, now I have it. When I come back to do the same workout next, which might be in 2 or 3 weeks' time, I can look at that information and look to progress further from my past week's performances. Good, come on. Good. Come on, work hard. 3 good reps, come on. And again. And again. Rest, pause, rest. Together, let's go. Come on. Rest, pause, single arm, okay? Let's go, single arm. Good form, come on. Come on, Roberto. Up. Good, rest, pause. And again, strong last phases. Let's go, come on. Up. Up. 1 rep each. Come on, let's go. Good, and 1. Good set, good set. Good set. So, Roberto just asked me, do we have to incorporate drop sets in every week 3 workout? No, as long as your rep range is a minimum of 18 repetition in the sets that you are doing that are not drop sets. I like my triple drop sets. Certain exercises, I find that triple drop is a great tool to create that really 3D look. But you also have to consider making sure that you don't bring secondary muscle groups into play. And you also have to consider where you are with your nutrition and water at that time. Now obviously, myself and Roberto are both highly hydrated with Hydrolite. The benefits of Hydrolite are endless. You're going to see an increase in performances. You're going to see a decrease in, or an increase in detoxification, did I say? You're going to see less free radical responses taking place. You're going to see an increase in neurological stimulus, strength, recovery. Hydration is so critical. It's probably the #1 supplement that I feel that most people neglect. Your hydration is critical and key. If you looked at the human body, you could remove food, total food away from a human body for a certain length of time. Your body can live extended periods of time without food compared to water. Water, it needs water. It's the most essential element that your body needs. We're going to go into our next exercise, which is going to be drop set or triple drop, tricep push down, only 3 working sets. But remember, every set, whether it's a double drop or a triple drop, is obviously going to be extended rep ranges. So we're going to be doing 3 total sets. Depending on how we feel then, we may go on to the seated overhead tricep extension machine by Arsenal. Make sure you are really hydrated throughout the workout. Certainly important. What's really important is a lot of people will neglect their supplementation dependent on their training stimulus. So dependent on the type of hypertrophic responsive muscle fiber activation that you're going to be training, you need to consider that. So I've actually taken 1 pre-hydrolite and 1 intra-hydrolite, and I'm also going to take another one after my workout. I am sweating a huge amount, so obviously losing a lot of vital salts and minerals, which are absolutely critical and key for performances, aiding in recovery. So make sure you're hyper hydrated through the form of hydrolite and obviously water. Okay, so we're going to go on to triceps. using my wrist wraps, okay? So I'm going to aid with my strength or support my strength throughout my shoulder. So I'm going to support my strength throughout my wrist. I don't have weak wrists by any means, but with the rep range, there's going to be quite a bit of load, especially over an extended period of time. I'm going to do, say, 2 or 3 warm-up sets, progressively going heavier. When it comes to triceps, I don't necessarily concentrate on long head of triceps. So obviously the tricep has 3 different heads. I try to concentrate on the most amount of tricep activation as possible. So obviously we have 1 head, we have 2 heads, we have 3 heads. I try to keep the focus here, okay? So I don't tend to do a lot of pulley work as far as a cable, because I don't need to necessarily hit that outer head of his tricep. The meat needs to be on that back point. So for me, staying in a slightly cambered position, or even better, a straight bar, okay, for push downs, overhead extensions, overhead pushing down extensions off a cable machine, anything where you're extending and anything which tends to be straight. Yes, if you've got incredible outer tricep development, then of course you can use ropes, but it's not something I tend to do. And to be honest with you, if you're trying to create a bigger peak in your bicep, it's not going to happen by application. A lot of it is genetical, so it doesn't matter what expert, what specialist out there says. I've seen people putting out a lot of information on about how you can perform an exercise and get peaky biceps, and they have 0 peak in their arm development. Unfortunately, a lot of it is actually genetically inbred, all right? So I just finished my last warm-up set. I obviously increased the weight, did about 6 to 8 reps, and then I actually increased it straight away again and did about another 6 reps just to get a feel. That's my last warm-up set. So I've done 3 warm-ups. Now we're going to be going in with our first working set. This is going to be really tough because mentally and physically, obviously a little bit tired from biceps. And clear my mind. Remember, your triceps has more muscle indirectly than biceps, so don't neglect your tricep because you're going to get more muscle mass in your arm through your tricep than biceps. Okay, so we're going to go into our first working set. It's going to be a triple drop set. You see where my strength is, because we're doing a triple drop. Yes, you could use 2 pins, like obviously the Mike Badass piece of kit there, the drop pin. I've only got 1 with me. I've actually got 2, but I've actually got 1 with me. So Roberto is actually going to do the drop for me, okay? Watch this set, it's really important. Come on, Neil, let's go. Big set, right? Yeah? One plate heavier. let's go, strong now, come on. Come on. Let's go, come on. Keep pushing. Good, perfect. You'll see this great extension on the tricep. He's not coming up too high where he's disconnecting his tricep. Come on, push. Work hard. Come on. Good. And again, good set. Down slowly. Okay, let's go. Strong, let's go, come on. Let's go. Perfect, come on. Let's go, come on. Down, come on. Rest pause. Right, let's go down, extend, out. One, good, racket. Let's go. Roberto, you got to come all the way down, come on. None of these shitty half reps. One, better. 2, 3, 4, good, come on. 6, good, come on. 7, 8, good, come on. Down, come on. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, perfect. Okay, you'll notice as Roberto starts to tire, he goes into what would be a little bit more like an extension. Don't do that. Okay, don't come up too far. You want to come to about parallel or slightly past parallel. Anything beyond, you'll start to lose tricep activation. Yes, you're going to feel a stretch, but you're actually indirectly deloading your tricep. Why are you doing it? Because you're trying to make the exercise easier. Fight against it. You'll also notice Roberto started off doing a great push down, starts to change his movement pattern, becomes more like an extension. Don't do that. Fight against it, okay? Okay, so we're going to go into our next working set, our second working set, triple drop. Remember, ideally 15 to 18 reps in each phase. So that's anywhere between 45 and 54, 56 reps. Because obviously there's going to be 3 phases. Really make sure that you're really pushing and challenging yourself with these working sets, all right, guys and girls? Get your mind strong. I'm definitely going to be weaker now. Look at my movement pattern, Roberto. All right? Watch, yeah.
Also
70.
70.
Yeah, and Roberto, watch my movement pattern. Don't go into an extension. Don't go here. Okay?
Okay.
Come down.
Down.
Down. And here, don't come up here. If you're resting there, okay. But don't go like this and then this, because you disconnect tricep.
Okay.
If you need to rest, pause here. Okay? Watch me rest, pause. Wow. Okay, with that set, what I did with the last phase, on my last phase, I pulled my hands closer together, I stepped further forward in the machine, and it was like tight in my elbows, and it's very restricted, so there's more tricep, okay, less shoulder flexion. So I slightly changed my last phase to get more out of my tricep, okay? I'll make sure that I do this with Roberto as well. Good, come on. Good, come on. Good, down next. Come on. Good. Work hard. Come on, work hard. Down, come on, extend. Good, better. Stop fucking around. Up. Let's go, Roberto. Extend, down, come on. Aim the bar here. Come on, better. Good, come on. Good, push. Down, come on. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk forward. Right, close, close. Roberto, not here. Down, here. There, come on, better. Down. Good. Don't. Let's pause. Let's go 5. Let's go, come on. 5, 4, 3, push 2. Good set. Right, huge volume, huge muscle stimulation. Obviously, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, so you're going to be hitting slow twitch muscle fibers. That being said, as a means of survival, your body is going to adapt and it's going to try to grab onto everything it can. So it's going to grab onto fast twitch fibers, medium twitch fibers, slow twitch fibers. The reason I say medium is because it's easier for people to understand. There's 3 different muscle fibers in the human body. All right, this is dominant in sarcoplasmic, slow twitch muscle fibers, but as a means of survival for those last repetitions, you are going to bring in a multiple array of different muscle fiber activation, which indirectly equates to potentially more muscle stimulus, which equates to potentially more muscle mass and development. So this is going to be my last set now. Come on. 70. 70. Come on, Crazy pump. Oh, come on, be a machine. Strong, strong, be a machine. Come on. Good. Good. Good, come on. Good set, good set. Stay upright, don't lean forward. Good, come on. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step forward. Step forward. Step forward. Close, close.
Oh.
Close, close. Come on, forward. No, no, no. There, come on. Good. Good. Let's go. Right, rest forward. So there, last 5. Let's go. Come on, last 5. Let's go, come on. 5, 5, 4, down. 3, 2, 1. Good set. Good set. Good.
Whoa.
Okay, so we're going to go into our last and final exercise. It's going to be a drop set, Arsenal strength, seated overhead extension. It's a great piece of equipment. Obviously, you can do this with an EZ bar, very easy. One of my favorite exercises. I like an EZ bar because you can manipulate your grip on that. I tend to go quite close with the EZ. This, I'm going to find a neutral position. Indirectly, my hands are going to be slightly pivoted, okay? So slightly spinated, but only very slightly. Right. Roberto, you've got to be strong now. Come on. No fucking around, right? Come on now. Let's go. Come on. Good. 2. Power. Come on. Good. 6. I think what happened. Right. What happened? There's
Yeah, drop.
Yeah, I think you dropped it and then it dropped out, yes. Okay. Just remember, don't. Fine. Okay. Let's go. Good. Good. Perfect. Keep there. Good. Come on. Good. 10. Come on, push. Good. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Okay, wrap. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You're in. Let's go. Good. Perfect. Good. Come on. Let's go. Power. 3, 2. Good set. Good set. Good.
Bruciore unico.
So, week 3, Y3T workout. Obviously, we're going to focus on slow twitch muscle fibers, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Yes, there's a huge amount of blood flow, but there's a lot of muscle fiber activation. This is the first time that me and Roberto have trained together, and I'm sure that he will agree that the initial stages of that first phase before you drop, the weight is incredibly heavy. It's not light. So even though your target rep range is 15 to 20 reps or 18 to 25 reps, that weight is still heavy. Remember, you're incorporating rest pause. Rest pause, when it comes to week 3 workout, you're probably gonna rest pause anywhere between 3 and 5 times. Or week 1, when the rep range is anywhere between 8 to 12, yes, you could do 6 repetitions. I don't tend to advocate that because I think a lot of people who are not training experienced can innocently neglect their movements, become too overconfident, use and introduce bad form, which increases the risk of injury, all right? But with a week 1, you're probably gonna rest pause once or twice. And a week 2, where the rep range is 14 to 18, you're gonna rest pause anywhere between 2 and 3 times. But today it's all about week 3, huge blood flow, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. But as I've said already, because of the type of training stimulus that we are creating or performing, you're gonna bring in all muscle fiber activation. Only minor amount of fast twitch muscle fibers and medium, but they will be activated to a certain point, all right? There's a lot of volume, 3D muscle pump. Remember, your supplementation should be obviously incorporated around your workouts. Remember, we've taken our Amino Elite, our Hydro Elite, so we obviously have all those variables in place so that we are not further and extending ourselves with our training stimulus and then find that we're going into a catabolic state because we haven't taken the required pre-workout meal or meals and pre-workout or even intra-workout supplementation, as well as fluids and water, okay? Full reps, come on. Good, Roberto, come on. Good reps, come on. Full extension, come on. Good, come on. Push. Drive, come on. 10. Keep the form there, extend, lock out, come on. Stay strong. Come on, Roberto. Let's go, come on. Let's go, come on. 3, push, 2, drive, 1, drop. Let's go. You're in, let's go. Come on. Full extension, come on. 1, 2, push. 3, 4, drive. 5, come on. 6, 7, up. Good. Rack. Good set. Good set. So as far as my post-workout supplementation, I'm going to be taking my glycocharge. So I'm going to be taking again 30 grams of fast digesting carbs from this product based on highly branched cytodextrin. And I'm also going to be taking anywhere between 30 and 40 grams of high bioavailable protein from my Infusion Elite. There's 4 different protein blends in here. We have di-and-tripeptides coming through the form of PeptiPro. So there's going to be hydrolyzed casein. We also have a full spectrum of all our essential aminos through the form of hydrolyzed whey isolate. We also have whey isolate, and we also got GMO-free egg white protein. So you have 4 different protein blends in here. Super, super fast digesting proteins, the faster you're going to get. So it's not just supported by a timed release phase indirectly, because of course you want to take away that state of catabolism, get in a state of anabolism super fast, but you also want to support prolonged lengths of protein synthesis. So with those 4 different protein blends, it's going to do that. And we've also got digestamine in there, which is going to hyper perform your ability to absorb and digest those proteins as well. This is absolutely incredible. Now, spoken briefly in the past of my Amino Elite. You can take this product multiple times in a day. This is based as a pre-workout fat burner. So in this product, we have 6 grams of fermented branched chains. We have 4 grams of fermented L-citrulline. We've also got splenotor in there, which is a powerful blend, a patented blend of fat burning herbs and spices. We also have here rhodiola rosa, a very formidable, strong adaptogenic, which is going to help and fight against fatigue, keep mental clarity in line. And we've also got green tea extract in here, which is also going to help with an increase in thermogenesis, which is going to support fat loss. Also is going to help regulate water as far as expelling water and helping with hydration. In my Hydro Elite in here, we have coconut powder, dried up coconut powder. We've got taurine in here as well. We've also got aquarium, which is a blend, powerful patented blend of intracellular deep water minerals as well. And we've also got L-aniline and L-glutamine in here, which is also going to support with intracellular hydration, fight against fatigue, draw nutrient-rich blood into the muscle to keep it hydrated and supported, to reduce the risk of fatigue and support anabolism throughout your workouts. You can take this product multiple times of the day. You can take my Amino Elite product multiple times a day. You can take this up to 4 times a day. You can take this up to 4 times a day. This was purely brought to the marketplace by myself and Gabrielle to support fat loss, aid with anabolism, and also support with a higher sense of nitric oxide exposure through the form of increased blood flow, which is coming through obviously our 4 grams of L-citrulline. Okay, so those are my products. Make sure you check them out on YamamotoNutrition.com. An incredible product line brought to you by an incredible company. Check out www.yamamotonutrition.com.